My name is Chris, and today we're taking a look at two brand new reissues from Rhino Records. Welcome to the Vinyl Attack. It is currently Thursday, the 1st of June, and I received in the mail, actually through UPS, much to my surprise, two albums that I have here right in front of me that you can see on the overhead, School's Out and Killer, both from Alice Cooper, both from Warner Brothers Records, which is being re-released by Rhino Records that has the licensing for all of this, and they've been doing a lot of that recently. Today we're going to talk about what you get in either, in both of these, what they cost, do you want them, and how good do they sound, because that's really key for me anyway. Now, first and foremost, I have not opened these. I did cut the cellophane to make it easier to do on camera, but I wanted to open these with you to show you what you're getting for your money, because I believe this one here, Killer, is running for $70. It is a 3 LP, and they believe that breaks down to just over 23 bucks a record, which is not bad considering everything that you get inside and the quality of the packaging, which we're going to get into. But right here, it's the 50th anniversary edition. Now, this came out in 1971, so this is a couple of years ago. And this leads me to believe that Rhino is using the remaster that they did then. The marketing here is a little bit different than the marketing on their website, but that's what I'm guessing. But what you get is the original album, of course, and then you're going to get a previously unreleased live 1972 show, along with some tracks that they didn't release before that were alternative takes, which is pretty good stuff. So there's a lot of content for the 3 LPs. Is it worth your money? We're going to get into that. So let's take the cellophane off of this, and let's see what we get inside. Now, originally, and I know it's in here, but originally this was released with a calendar, a 1972 calendar with Ellis himself, who really liked to hang himself in this time period. And there's a picture of the band at the time, which is, it's a throwback. But let's take a look, and I believe in the first sleeve, so in the first sleeve, the first pocket, this is the calendar. And honestly, this is pretty flippin' cool. The front part, I guess I would call this the front. The photo looks good. It's a nice matte, as you can probably tell from the video image. This is a nice matte finish. So it's a 1972, but of course, calendars repeat themselves. I believe it's every 4 years with leap year. You could keep this around for quite a while if you wanted. You could frame it, you could hang it up. You could do nothing with it, of course. It's up to you. But on the back, we have members of the band. Here's the track listing. So the the original release itself has side 1 and 2. These are the regular songs. Then it's it's live Marisol Pop Festival in Puerto Rico, April 2nd, 1972, and it goes down the list, and it's got 2 sides for that, 3 sides. So side 3, 4, and 5 are all the live version of that concert, and then side 6 has, I believe, they're previously unreleased alternate versions of Under My Wheels and Dead Babies. This is stuff. There's alternate version of You Drive Me Nervous. Under My Wheels, I'm not sure. I guess I'm assuming that's another alternate take. I haven't listened to that yet, so this is what I'm going to do after we do the unboxing or the unwrapping. Is I'm going to take this upstairs, just the main album. I'm going to take it upstairs. I'm going to give it a clean in my ultrasonic. I'm going to give it a listen and let you know, is it worth the money? Even at 23 bucks, is it worth the money? How does it sound? But let's take a look at the record itself, because it's coming in, unfortunately, from my opinion, it's a paper sleeve. It's also, this is a little lighter, so this is not a 180 gram, and you can tell maybe from, I don't know if you heard the stack, but you might be able to tell from the lighting here. This is the problem when you have a paper sleeve. There is dust, paper dust everywhere, all over this. Now, that's not going to affect anything if you clean it properly before you play it, but if you don't have a quality record cleaner, if you don't have an ultrasonic or a vacuum machine, it poses a bit of a problem. It's kind of a pain in the So I would like to see a poly sleeve of some sort with every release that comes like this. But it looks like it actually has a dish. It's got a dish to it, as far as I can tell. We'll find out how bad that is. But thankfully for me, I have a record Pi. So anytime I get something that's a little off, fixing it is a piece of cake, provided that it's actually that bad anyway, because it doesn't look terrible. But so this is the original Warner. Oh, look at that. The original Warner Brothers Records logo. Side 2, side 1. All of the dust. That's a bit disappointing. So this right here, that's going in the trash right away, because the hell with that. I'm not putting that anywhere near a record. What else do we have in here? So we have written as told to Jan Jehelski. So this is a journalist, as far as I remember. and they're talking with members of the bands and the producer about the individual tracks, what they are, what they mean, I guess, you know, what the thought process, and there's a lot. So each panel has a full blurb on what's going on here and what they were thinking when they were writing and recording these. If you are an Alice Cooper fan, this is what you want to see with a release like this, because this gives you a deep dive into the thought process. If you're spending a little extra money, it's not a box set, but for a deluxe edition that's going to have 3 records, and they're sticking tried and true to the original, giving the poster. This is what you want, and there's a lot. I might even read some of this stuff, but let's take a look. I'm gonna not pull this out right now because I'm assuming there's going to be, yeah, I can hear the stat. It doesn't look like there's as much paper dust, but I'm not going to risk it. Here's 3 and 4. I'm not even going to check and see if this one is warped. And then in the very back, you can slide from either direction, which is nice. 5 and 6. This is the alternate takes, and this is the end of the concert. So it looks good. I will say this, Rhino, and part of the reason I wanted to do this, because they reached out to me, thankfully, again, after Record Store, to say, hey, we've got these coming out. Would you like to review them? And I said, after it went so well last time, I would love to. I have been a huge fan of the stuff that Rhino has been putting out lately. The quality is top-notch. The pressings are really good. The sound is good. There has been a little bit of controversy. They are selling these direct. I think these are going direct. I know they're doing direct stuff. They just did a John Coltrane. I think they limited it to 3,500 copies, 5,000 copies, and they're selling it direct to the public. You can't get it at a record store. I believe this is the same. This comes out Friday, June 9th. This is going to come to a shock to probably most of you, especially because I'm a Metro Detroit native. I'm not an Alice Cooper fan. Now, before you relax, before you have a giant uproar, I'm not saying he's not good. There's just something about it that doesn't click with me, just doesn't resonate. Although listening to, not this record, but listening to the digital version of this, I streamed it the other day just because I wanted to kind of get familiar with it again. I prefer the deep cut stuff on these records, certainly. The musicianship is damn solid, and Alice sings great, but it's always been a thing where ever since I was young, I just couldn't quite get into Alice Cooper, which is heresy around these parts in particular, because this is where he's from. So, but this one, School's Out, this seems to be the big one because of the propaganda that they included with this. So if I pull that off gently, this is pretty much the same thing. So we've got the original album plus a 1972 show and extras, and it pays homage to the original packaging, including underwear. Does this have the open desk? It does. I don't want to pull this completely back, but in here, it has the desktop. It shows you the stuff inside that you would see originally. Now, on the original, I believe, on the back, there were legs that folded out as well. And there was a reissue of this not long ago that did that completely. Like, they did it exactly as it was. This is not that, but also it's because it's 3 albums long. And when you open this up, this one is more like a book. So this one is a true gatefold. This one, well, you know what a gatefold looks like. You just saw the damn thing. This one opens up more like a book. And right here you can see peeking out from behind the corner. We're going to pull it up this way. There are your underwear for all of you who were pining for a copy of School's Out. Make sure you had underwear on your record. This is the one for you. Now, this one, I believe, is retailing for $90. So each record comes to right about $30, which is unfortunately an average price for an LP these days. But you also get a whole lot more yet again. Now, they put this, the actual original release, or just the proper album, this is in a poly sleeve, and it's got the rounded bottom, which is more, I believe, a Japanese style. So they could put the underwear on the record, which I'm going to set aside. And again, they have track listings, what was going on, interviews with the band. This is a lot of information to take in, but I think it's a really good thing. I'm very excited that they did that because I like to see the extra work. Again, paper sleeves. Let's see. So let's look at the track listing on the back because I want to tell you this was live in Miami, Florida in 1972. So it's got, again, 3 sides of a concert. And then you've got 4 tracks, 2 single versions, an alternate version, and an early take. I am familiar with pretty much all of these songs. I've been hearing them my entire life. I mean, if Alice Cooper comes on the radio, I mean, it's not like I'm going to necessarily change the channel. I just don't turn it on purpose, which I'm sure is very foreign to some of you Michigan natives, because around here, you're supposed to like Fago, you're supposed to like Better Made, you're supposed to like Bob Seger. I like one of those things, and I'm going to let you guess which one. But the other record, the final record in the back, one thing I do like about it, they slide in and out very easily. So if you keep your records in the packaging, the original packaging, I do not. I take these out. I would take these out. I would put these in my own sleeves, especially because the sleeves we're getting are paper sleeves, which are just junk. I would put those in my own sleeves, my own poly sleeves, and then put this in a clear case as well. But I'm actually not going to be doing any of that. And if you were nice enough to stick around this long, guess what? You get a treat, because I'm giving them both away. Thanks to Rhino, because they gave them to me to give to you. I don't have to, and I guarantee you eventually Rhino's going to send me something. I'm looking at you, Pantera picture disc, which I would keep only for the collectible value because I don't like picture discs, but I love Pantera. But at any rate, I want to give these to you because I know that you're a bigger Alice Cooper fan than I am, so why not enjoy these on behalf of Rhino and myself? So here's what you're going to do. If you want Killer, just like before, the last giveaway I did, if you're in the continental US, I will pay for the shipping free of charge. If you are from out of the country and you are willing to split the shipping costs with me, or maybe even go 2/3, because the last time I gave records away, it kicked my ass financially, feel free to enter. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. If you want killers, right? Killer. Just type killer in the comments below. If you want Schools Out, I'm betting you can probably figure out, type the word Schools Out, and you're in. You're entered, and that's easy. And then probably a week from now, week and a half, I want to give time for people to watch the video and enter the contest. I'm going to pick a winner. We're going to ship these out. But what I'm also going to do right now is I'm going to go take these upstairs, just the main LPs. I'm going to give them a quick wash. I'm going to give them a listen, and then I'm going to tell you what you can expect from the sound quality. Are they worth your money for those of you who aren't going to win these albums? So through the magic of editing, I've had these records with me for a couple of days, and I've given them a listen, both fairly thoroughly, a couple of times each. And I will say I'm happy, but also mildly disappointed. Both of them have a dish to them. They have a dish warp. They're playable, although Killer, the first couple tracks, there were minor scuffs on the record, so you could hear it a little bit. I don't know that putting it through the record pie and flattening it would actually have any change to that, although because right now I'm still using the Ortophone, that quintet with that square bottom, that flat bottom, if there's any warp to it, sometimes it'll catch the back end of that cartridge and cause timing issues. I think it did that a little bit in the beginning, which is one of the downsides I actually didn't mention about the quintet. Easy for me to say. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but the sound of the record is flipping fantastic. Now, I hadn't spent a lot of time comparing the previous versions of this album with the 50th anniversary remaster, but I'm telling you right now, whatever they did, it sounds excellent. You get a couple tracks, and even the tracks that were a little scuffed, they still sound fantastic. I'm just mildly disappointed because Rhino has been putting out such excellent stuff recently. Schools Out was the same. There's a dish to it. Now, if you put, so the dish is this way. Side one, it's got a little warble to it. When you flip it over and put it down, though, because it's 140 gram, flat as a board, I had absolutely zero issues. This record sounded, I liked the sonic characteristics of Killer better. This one was a better pressing, if that makes sense. So if you would like me to take these and put them through the record pie before I ship them off, you're going to need to remind me in an email once we sort out the winners. Now, going back to the previous giveaways, it has to be said how this is going to work, okay? You make the comments, and then I will make an official video telling you whether or not you've won. I will not email you. I will not message you. I will not call you. I will not send a carrier pigeon. Wait for the official video, and then if your name is announced, then you will email me, and we'll sort all the details just like before, because every time I do a giveaway, spam bots will bother you. I apologize. I'm just trying to give you free stuff from the grace of Rhino through myself to you, so that's what I'm after. They're still excellent. Would I buy them? Well, if I was an Alice Cooper fan, yes. Yes, I would. If this were Van Halen or Pantera or the Ramones, and I got a slightly dished record from Rhino that sounded this good, because I have a record pie, I wouldn't care in the least. If you want these, you know what to do in the comment section. I want to thank Rhino for passing these out to me in advance. These are still excellent albums. They sound fantastic. I'm still not a fan. I listen to them, and although they sound great, they didn't grow on me. Nothing has changed there. I still respect Alice Cooper and the band at the time. They're just not for me. So hopefully you will enjoy them very much. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to next time.